It's
We
fine.
did
it! Nothing. Or iPad just didn't press the button like it was supposed to press the button. It says we're live. I don't know whether we actually physically are or not yet. But hello.
Yes,
everybody.
we are live.
We are live.
are.
Oh. Hello. How's everybody doing today? We're all just, I'm at least, just a bit frazzled somehow at the moment.
Yes, we are live. We did it. Yeah, that's us.
Success. There we go. Right, let's turn this down.
Okay.
That was me.
We made it.
Are you not? Why is my phone not? Nothing is. Hello. Does everyone want to introduce themselves while I try and pull myself
Hello,
together?
it's me,
everyone.
Sherry.
How are you all today? God.
Hello, my name is Sherry. I am Cat Squid. I game sometimes. Sometimes I also write. End of introduction.
Beginning of introduction. I am Ashley B. Pedigo. I am a writer for children and adults, a songwriter, and I host productivity sprints over on Twitch. And I have too many projects all the time. That word was projects, is the word that I said.
We're
Your
so
turn.
Professional today.
We
are.
are
really are
nailing it.
Yes. We've got this down, guys. This is great. This is great. Hello, I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, here on YouTube and on Twitch. You can find me also on Instagram. I am an aspiring writer of fantasy, sci-fi, historical fiction for middle grade, YA, and adult. I like to do comics. I like to bake, and I like to do all the crafty things.
I'm Sarah. I'm not with it at the moment. I write stuff, mostly fantasy, mostly YA. I have a middle grade that is currently devouring my entire life right now. Yeah, hi. How is everybody doing on the last day of May? This is... For those of you who are new here, this is our monthly wrap-up, which Nia had the fantastic idea of doing. I think it was Preptober last year. We did our first one, wasn't it? So almost the yearly anniversary for that is coming up. Yes. Where basically we get together and we talk about, everything that we did successfully in the past month, everything we did not do successfully in the past month, and then what we are looking forward to in the month to come. And luckily for us, next month is the month before Camp Nanaimo, so it's going to be prep month for July. So I'm very interested to see what everybody has got planned.
What are plans?
What are plans?
Yes.
Made up stuff.
Hi, Michael.
Hello, everybody. Michael.
Hi, Tiara. Hi, Lee.
Hello, Adelina.
Hi.
Hi,
Tiny Scribe is here as well.
Hi, Kaylee. Hello, Cat.
Laura has a cat kitty.
Cat has already wrote 274 words today. Well done.
Nice.
That is more than I've written today.
Same.
I think.
But that's because we're making all the food today.
Yes. It's Memorial Day.
Yes.
We are having a food day because we usually go out of town this weekend to kick summer off. But instead, we're doing a big food day for us. So we have brisket and beans and jalapeno poppers and cobbler and just
Hi, you're online right now, by the way.
Turn your camera.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay, so we've successfully taken over the stream.
Now that it's ours. Oh, she's back.
Oh, she's back. Oh, boo.
The takeover is over.
Nothing happened.
We were totally innocent while you were gone.
I just heard that. Oh, she's back, and I'm like, stuff happened in the 30 seconds I was muted. You guys work quickly.
Yes, we're ready.
Cat Squid and Master of Giggles.
It's
Sherry.
me.
Cheers, Sherry. Right, so I usually have questions prepared, but May has been a bit of an odd month for me. In regards to I've not filmed anything for YouTube because I haven't been bothered. Apart from today, I haven't streamed at all in May because I haven't been bothered. I'm like, I just don't want to do anything. So it's been a bit of a very weird. So,
Everything. Yeah.
yes. How does everybody else's May go?
I took Mental Health Awareness Month very seriously. So I took a couple of hiatuses from streaming. I spent a lot of that time catching up on spring 2021 anime. So basically, it was just trying to refill, my media compost heap, as it were.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So I started on my middle grade revision also over this month, and I took a 51,000 word book, and now it only has 24,000 words, and I need to rewrite all of them.
That's good, though.
It is. So I took all of the meandering subplots out that I was like, these don't actually serve the story, and now I know what will serve the story. And I do not write description, so all of my characters are walking around doing the story against a white backdrop.
They're in the void.
Yes, they are stick figures with personality.
They are in Janet's void.
Look,
So-
at least they have personality. Give yourself props for that.
Thank you. And I really like the tight main plot story that I have left over. So now I just need to go in and flesh out and make it pretty, which will feel like a redraft, but in fact will be something way better. But I had to figure out that. So I spent most of May doing that. And then I joined a picture book writing contest where you have to write 7 stories in 7 weeks. And then I kept telling anybody I was on stream with, don't tell Sherry I've done this.
Did you not want Sherry's support in this?
I feel like Sherry would be supportive. Sherry also would be like...
Sherry's also mom. Sherry has big mom energy and would be like,
Sherry.
excuse me, child, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh, yes. Sherry got on me earlier this month. I was like,
there are plans I have that I don't want to tell anybody because I know what reactions might be there. So I'm like,
why you want to set yourself on fire, friend?
I've had so much
why not?
fun doing this content. This has been some of the most fun I've had writing in so long, doing these little contest entries. That's what I'm going to work on if we get the opportunity to sprint today, is entry number 4 of 7.
Ooh.
So
Almost done, though.
Almost done. Yeah. We get a new prompt every Monday, and then we have a week to turn it in. And it's been so
Very
It's been
cool.
so fun.
amazing.
So that's what I worked on this month, is that and learning what revision is. Because I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
Mia, take it away.
So I started out the beginning of the month. I had like 9 ideas that were just bugging me so bad. I just started plotting them out quickly. And then Sherry's like, I was on Sherry's stream and she's like, and asking everybody, what are they working on? And I said, I'm working on I'm plotting out something. She's like, yeah. The thing. And I'm like, I know, let me do it really quick. I'm working as fast as I can. Let me at least write out 3 of them. So I did that, and then I started on my goal that I had set myself a pretty lofty goal for no reason, but I did. But it has to do with the project that Sherry actually tells me I need to be working on. But I wanted to get. So it's a 3-part starts with the kids that they're in middle grade, or they're in middle grade to high school, then university, and then the comic is where they are currently at now. To do the comic and have it be consistent, I need to get everything else done. So I've been desperately trying as fast as I can to get it drafted well enough that there aren't any conflicts when I actually put out the comic. And I'm putting the comic out in a series, hopefully on Vella, or I might put it on Wattpad. I still think I'm going to try Vella, but we'll see. So I wrote it out, and I had someone read the first couple of chapters, and I understand why you say don't use an even number, because 2 people gave me 2 different feedbacks, and I'm like, oh no, I know.
Yeah.
What to do now? One of them is how much of the flashback to use, because you're coming in on the final series part of the series. Exactly.
Oh God.
So I've been very busy, but I got several chapters of the first book and the second book, and what I'm putting out on Vella written, and I'm going through revisions now. And I put some of the 2 flashbacks in the one that's going to come up on Vella, and one person said, oh, I love the flashback, it's perfect, and one person said, I don't need all of this flashback, it's a little bit too much. So I'm like, okay.
Get a third opinion.
Yes, you're going to have to get a third opinion. But I will say that both of these people are familiar with the short stories from previous. So that's why the one might feel like they don't need the flashback, because they kind of already know what's what. But I said a new reader is what the other person told me. A new reader is not going to know what's going on, so the flashback's very helpful. So
yeah, try and find a new reader.
Yeah, so I'm going to need another reader.
Not familiar, just to see what they say, because it might be that it is that they're familiar with it. So, but that's revision. You get so many conflicting comments and critiques and suggestions, and this is good, and someone else goes, this is not good, and you're like,
exactly. And I'm like, do I take everything out? I was doing revisions, and I'm like, so much of my writing, I don't write in a void, so fortunately, at least they're not just in a white space. But I can't have, or I say I can't. We're writers; we can do whatever we want. Yeah, but I don't want people coming for me when I said she happily ran. No, get rid of happily ran. That adverb.
So many.
But
I feel like,
oh, but that's what they're doing. But
happily.
I need to show it.
Adverbs are difficult, because they say don't use adverbs, but then
some people hate them.
Between saying something softly and whispering, and running happily just gives me Phoebe Buffay energy.
Like
jogging in the park.
I'm like, it's a very specific thing that I want to.
Adverbs are like salt. Okay, like if you put too much salt, then it's just gonna be salty. Like if you season judiciously with adverbs, I think that's fine. I think that is acceptable.
Sometimes it's good to be a little bit salty. So
I'm constantly salty.
So that has been the end of May has been me just going through revisions. So I'm on everybody's stream. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, still doing revisions. I try to take out all the adverbs and see what works. I'm like, this is boring. And now I'm like, okay, now I have to add something in. And then I'm like, oh, but I don't like the way it sounds. Take it back out. And I'm like, oh, this is the hard part.
This is why my revision is wherever I happen to write first during revisions, that's my revision.
Yeah.
And I'll fix it again if I need to do another revision. But I'm like, that'll do. That'll do. Is how I write right now. It's really frustrating.
There's this quote from oh my God, who wrote Joy Luck Club?
Amy
Tan? Yeah. Okay. Amy Tan says that if she doesn't have like anyone just stopping her physically from continuing to edit her book, she will just like keep editing it like it's like clay sculpture, and she'll just whittle away at it like little piece by piece by piece. So
Yeah.
eventually you're going to have to like find someone close to you in slapping distance, say, to be like, just stop me, just stop me. Stop me from editing.
You're
Yes.
not gonna have anything left to edit if you keep editing it like
That's
that.
what I
It's
feel
gonna-
like.
It's gonna be
That's-
something completely unrecognizable, and that might not be what you want it to
You'd
be.
go back to the blank page. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. No, you don't.
It's where it's yeah.
I managed to do two things in May, which I'm very surprised I actually got the second one done. I forced myself to do the basic outline for Abingdon 3. Because that was like at the beginning of the month, though, because I knew it was going to cause me trouble if I didn't outline it properly, because that's what happened with Abingdon 2. The second thing I did was write all of Act 2 of Project Mystic,
Yes.
which I did not think I would get done, because I spent like 2 weeks just not writing anything, which frustrated me because I don't like not writing.
Well, okay, I'm gonna stop you because you kind of forgot that you went back to work, so that's not fair to yourself.
That's right.
I don't work. I work 12 hours a week. It's
Still,
fine.
dealing
It's a
with
disruption in your
people,
schedule.
dealing with
changing.
like outside your house people, that's
Yeah.
incredibly difficult to do.
Mhm.
And it's Disney, so I have to smile.
Yes.
I can't be passive aggressive with the guests. Because it's Disney.
Yes, you can. You can tell them to have a magical day.
Oh,
Unless
God.
that
To be
is
fair,
not
very
done
fair.
anymore because everyone caught on, and
Wait a
then
minute.
Disney started making merch that said "Have a magical day," and it was like, do you know what this merch means, Disney?
Passive aggressive merch. We don't get many horrible guests in our store anyway, and the ones we do, I always seem to miss, which I'm very, very unhappy about. Because so much as I hated working at McDonald's and dealing with the customers there, like I miss dealing with the really arsey customers at McDonald's. It brought me so much joy for them to be like, "Oh, there's a meal missing out of my bag. Well, you've not paid for it. Oh, I'm just going to sit here at this window until you give it to me. Okay,
Cool.
have fun." I'm just going to close the window. I've got.
I hope you brought a crossword puzzle. So you're at the Disney store now?
I am. Yes.
I used to work at a Disney store. I worked at one for all of 2 weeks and then it closed. It's not my fault. I did
Ashley,
not.
what did you do?
I did nothing.
Well, are you sure you didn't do nothing?
I will confess on video to nothing.
Oh no!
No,
It
I
went
didn't.
really well and then it didn't.
Oh, no.
At least it went really well first.
goodness. First.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like, oh, May totally messed my stuff up. Like that was a nightmare. I never want to do May again ever.
But we started reading this together.
We did that,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh, that's Anatomy of a Story?
Yes, it is.
It is. I guessed correctly.
It's good guess. It is chunky
It is
read.
chunky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just because it is a pretty big book, but also some of the exercises are like, oh no.
You want
Yeah.
me to psychoanalyze myself?
Myself?
Excuse you?
I don't want to do that.
How dare?
It's really exhausting.
I'm still like stuck in I got past chapter 2 and I'm in
Yeah.
chapter 3 now and I'm just like, wait,
I've noticed
no.
So there are a lot of filmmaking examples and a lot of filmmaking examples that are specifically dude movies.
Yes.
Have you noticed? Yes. Okay.
She's a little sexist, this book.
Little.
Mm.
It's just a lot of dude movies, and I've seen some of them, but
like there's this
I've
like
seen a lot of them.
I'm kind of a film nerd. I'm going to admit to that. So I have seen all of
That's
these
okay.
movies. But it's just because I grew up I transferred to LA when I was like 13. So you can't help it. Like if you're surrounded by people who are obsessed with movies, you just like accept that into your that's your personality now. You know movies.
Yeah. Is that one written by Sasha Black?
This one
by
is
John Truby.
Truby.
John Truby. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
May was the month where I decided I needed to own all of the writing
craft books
and read one of them.
Yeah, I did that too.
I created a TBR on my desk, and I'm never going to look at all of them.
That's what a TBR pile is.
Yeah.
It's a pile of books that you add to and don't touch.
Don't touch.
Yeah, I've got 7 right now, 7 craft books on my TBR, and I just opened up one of them, and that's the only joyful reading. Well, it's not. It's more craft reading, but it's the only reading I really got to do this month. But it's reading.
I read Natalie Goldberg's Writing Down the Bones this month. I have that one. I also got and read Bird by Bird by Annie Lamont. I also read Save the Cat's novel, TV, and film. So I read like those books, but like, in fairness, I really love dry nonfiction books. Like that's kind of my jam. I also read like 12 light novels. Oh wait. 24 light novels this month.
Light novels.
Oh wow!
I did a lot of reading.
Yes.
I just jumped headfirst into like refilling as much of my compost heap as I possibly can. I will die.
The Disney store. I want to be really clear. It was not my fault. They hired me, and then the mall was a mall. Malls don't exist anymore. It was a store inside a mall. It was not my fault. They didn't know.
I
also worked at Disney World, and Disney World is still open. Well, it's now open.
It broke though, didn't it?
That was not my fault either.
I know that the cats in Disney, like the California Disney, are still okay. They're really great.
They were probably thrilled to not have to be around so many people.
Yeah, they were like they exploded.
So many kitties.
Wow.
So many kitties.
I don't think I've ever read one writing craft book.
Would you like some?
My entire life. I don't like.
Yes, it does count.
Things to learn things. That sounds really weird, but I already don't like quite a few. This is how you're supposed to write a novel stuff, and I'm not a very introspective person, and there's a reason I don't ever create my characters in depth, because I just can't do anything past their name and what they look like. I can't dig into their head like that. So most of the exercises are like, I'm not going to do this exercise because I physically just can't do it. So I just physically don't pick up the books and I physically don't read them. But they might be helpful.
I also read Aristotle's Poetics, which was a completely dry read. That was a waste of time. But I did it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
See, I have Save the Cat writes a novel, but did I read it cover to cover? No, I basically went to, this is the beat sheet, these are the genres, and I just read those parts. Because that's the part I actively needed in order to write the novel.
I read everything because I was like, I don't trust you. Like, I don't trust beat sheets. I need to know what makes them tick, or otherwise I'm going
Yeah.
to just like go, excuse you, no.
I was
Yeah.
really hoping that one of these mini books was going to go, here is how you need to revise your novel specifically just for you. It's your book. I've got the book on how to revise your book. And none of them did that. So I'm mad at all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, no.
I literally, when I started revisions, that's why I picked up the one that because I have like 7 or 8. I have to look on my Kindle to see how many I have. But I was like, oh, this one will help me. And I'm like, but is it? But at least the writer of this one is an entertaining writer. So I'm enjoying her style of writing. So at least that. But yeah, I'm like, please just tell me how to fix this.
The thing I find
No,
a
you gotta
lot
do the
of
work.
is all the things I would need help with back when I needed to know how to do stuff like revising a novel or how do you write the middle of a novel. Nothing I ever looked at or found or read helped me with those specific bits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you can go to any outline method or any sort of writing craft book and how exactly to do the middle, you'll get here's the midpoint and there you go, but there's nothing that like really helps you understand, you know, how tension or rise and fall or this event or character development throughout the middle of the novel.
Mhm.
And it's just very frustrating.
I think
that's what I always struggle with.
I think a lot of figuring that part out, the middle part out, is like finding a book that you like that is in the same style as your book, but not about the same thing as your book, and using it as like a mentor text and tearing it apart. I think that's been more helpful than any of those. But I like going through those because it shows me that every single person on this shelf thinks that they know how to write a book because they wrote a book.
Yeah.
And even if their method doesn't work, it reminds me that it's okay if I haven't 100% figured out my method of writing a book yet, because there are a million of them and it could change per book, right? Like there's no one way to write a book, and having all of these things here, if that's the only thing that I get out of it is like, here are a bunch of things to try, then that's good. That's helpful.
Yeah,
it works.
It was an expensive lesson.
It is, but I don't use one way to plot. I don't use one way to outline. I don't use one way to revise. I mix and match and take bits from, you know, Save the Cat, bits from Katie Tastic's 9-block method, from KM Weiland's 3-act method, 60 scenes. Like I'll take from everything and sort of like, this is sort of how I'm going to do it this way around with this and that from that part and the beats from this, but adding, you know, elements of this other one. It's just, yeah, that's I suppose also a very frustrating part. Like you don't think you'll ever find one way that like fits for you.
But then once you write your book, Sarah, if it's a huge success, you can now write out a thing. This is how I did it, and you'll have a craft book. This is
my book,
and you can tell us all the little things that it's like I took from all of these and I mushed it all together, mixed it up, and there
and I
you
can
go.
Then your craft book will go right there.
Right there.
Go right on my list.
Spot.
I've found that I've been like cranking out a bunch of short stories that I haven't really told anyone about because oops. I look at them and I revise them and I realize that every single time I revise something new, it is a completely different process. It has not, I have never been able to like come to a like formula of this is how to do the edits. It's always like jazz musician. It's different every time you play it. I just
Yeah.
wanted to do that reference for Ashley because she's a musician.
Did you see the grin?
It was different every single time. So I've just gotten really zen about it. Like there is no one way. There's only the path that you were walking at this moment.
Yeah. Everything you write needs different attention in different places and revision in different places, and you just
But I don't
just
like
gotta do
the
what you gotta
path
do.
that I'm having to write with this book. This book is exhausting. I love this book very much. It's so exhausting to
Yeah.
write
Yeah.
it again.
I
Just
And again,
Yeah.
and again.
and again and again. I'm just gonna keep breaking it and putting it back together until it is what I picture when I'm trying to describe the story to someone.
mhm.
Be careful
That's-
with that.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm rewriting it again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write one book.
I feel like I did kind of that with the first 2 chapters of, was it last week? And I feel like I'm just going to take everything out and just here's the dialogue and here's what's happening. And I'll do it again. And some of it literally I came out exactly like I'd written it the first time. And some of it was a little bit different. Because when you just leave in the dialogue tagged and then this is what happens part, then you embellish and you add all of the little details and stuff. Some of it
You
I was
killed
very
the
happy.
roses.
Yeah. And some of it was different. And then I sat back and I was like, which one do I actually like better? You know?
Yeah.
So revisions have been interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't hated it though. It's tedious, but I haven't hated it. There's something about it that I've been liking.
Yeah.
But it is exhausting, but not in a bad way, if that makes sense. Like it's a lot. It's a lot, but I don't know if it's that I feel like I'm actually getting better or I feel like I'm learning or that it's working.
Yeah.
That might be I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but there is a feeling that's coming along with this that's not horrible, but it is kind of a little bit exhausting, but not in a bad way.
So
It's frustrating and exhausting.
I have a personal I'm kind of lucky in that when it comes to like picking which phrases sound better, I have my wife who is basically a Russian judge and she is cruel. Like she does not hold back. She's like, no, this is garbage actually. So like I'm lucky that someone can tell me to my face and then still want to make out with them later. Like this is not good. You make no sense. This is terrible. Stop being terrible. And then I like fix it. And it's like, oh, thank you. At least someone told me.
I just read my stuff out loud if I don't think it sounds right.
I also do that.
That will determine whether it sounds right or not. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't actually sound right now that I've said it out loud. Let me change that.
I've been reading it out loud as I rewrite these sections. I've been reading to Bird Dad. Bird Dad. And my jazz musician. Yeah. And that is it's been pretty exciting because before that I have not felt like I don't want anybody to read this, but now it's getting to the point where like maybe I can start showing this and like tinkering with it on a word level. So the rewrites are working.
I will take it.
Getting here has been fun. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
the perfect way to critique. Impossible standards, but being nice about it. Yes, I love it. I love it.
I forgot she was watching.
Burb, where is Burb? I can get. Hold on. I can get the bird. He does not like to be on video, but you can see his shadow on the wall. That's how that works. Where is Burb?
Burb is tall cat.
Burb is over there. He's cooking.
Oh, that's right. It is still Memorial Day.
Yes.
He is cooking all the food.
It's
Yeah.
just bank holiday for us.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah,
So-
my brother and my sister and my sister-in-law came over earlier, and they're going to be back later. So it's been a long day, but it's good.
He's mostly celebrating I am no longer teaching 4th grade.
Good. I'm
One.
so proud of you.
We like school year over. Next year teaching still, but not this today.
Yeah,
Today
I've
we're
got 2
not
more
teaching.
weeks.
We are done. I'm done homeschooling for the year. We
Oh.
did it.
You survived.
We did. Oh
I've got 2 more weeks and then I'm done. I can't wait. I'm like, send
Got
me
this.
those your geometry tests so I can send them in and this can be done. If I never do geometry again, I won't care.
I have 6 more weeks of school.
Did you
Oh.
when do you start school?
We start at the beginning of September
Yeah.
and we end halfway through July. But I know that you guys start a little bit earlier.
I would love that better because it gets over 100 degrees during I would like it if school started earlier in the summer so that we were in school during the hot months. And then when we actually have good weather here, we could have our summer.
Yeah.
So that's what would
Yeah.
be great in my mind to have school start in like July and then end when we're getting our good weather.
Yeah.
we're inside
To
with
enjoy
our
the
crummy
May.
weather, and
Yes.
then our good weather can start a little bit earlier than July, but our best weather is July, August.
Yeah.
So that's when we have our summer holidays.
Yeah, that's not our best weather. That's our hot hurricane weather.
Mm.
So it's pretty hot
Yes.
and
So-
hurricaney.
So far, as I've experienced it, Chicago has kind of perfect weather except for like all the snow. So I'm enjoying myself.
We just get so warm. It's so warm here.
Yeah.
I mean, not today. Not today. It's awful. Oh, I have been sent a picture of brisket.
Oh,
I'm glad I chose my words carefully because I almost said I just got sent a picture of meat, and that would have been a little
something
more
else.
Hi, look! It is the shadow of a bird dad. Am I
Hi, Bird
crazy?
Dad.
Hi, Bird Dad Shadow.
Hi.
Let me see what's there.
Sorry. Hello, friend.
I
Hi.
have a baby bird too. This is not bird dad.
No,
That would be
Baby bird.
Hey. Okay.
that is tall cat.
That is tall.
Nice.
I love you too. That was not Bird Dad. Bird Dad had picked up a baby, so it was the angle that I would speak to an adult male. But it was in fact baby bird.
My cat heard baby bird and went.
That's what I do when I hear him too.
Cat. Okay.
He said
All right.
it's not bad, it's just me. So I drank it and then was like, should update.
Oh, the tea.
It's not bad, it's just my taste buds. So I'll
Oh no.
carry on.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yes.
I need another question. How
Right?
what we sort of talked about what went iffy in May. Does anyone have
Horrendously
oh, God,
wrong.
No, Duolingo. I don't have time to practice French now. Go away.
Duo came to get you.
yeah.
Okay, it's not even me. It's my son. They had to start doing Duolingo when we had the lockdown for them to continue their French.
Mhm.
So it's on my iPad now for them to do it. Not that they do it, but there you go. May was Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
What did we do, if anything?
Sherry was a vegetable for that
Sherry
month.
vegged out for the entire month, which is gold.
Sounds amazing.
I'm actually surprised I streamed as much as I did. So I'm proud of myself for doing that.
I always found it very funny that when I was not bothered to do any writing, you were streaming. But in those moments where I was just like, you know what, I feel like writing today. Oh, it's Sherry's stream day today, and you were like, I'm not streaming today.
I'm
And I was
dead.
like,
I'm sorry. I am going to like hide.
kept on missing each other.
I know.
Did you guys do any self-care, creativity, well refilling, fun hobbies, etc. over this past month?
I've been making paper, and I tried to move the paper making outside because the weather was getting nicer. It's not nice now, but it was getting nicer, but it's still so windy that I ended up ruining a lot of pieces of paper.
Oh.
But I didn't want to move it back into my kitchen where I had been making it originally because I like to use my kitchen for food. And it was making it. It's a weird concept, but we're trying it out, see how it works. But so we have in our garage, there's like a built-in work bench thing that we were mostly using for garbage. This was like a garbage collection spot.
Relatable content.
Like there were some tools that we used when I was fixing the washing machine that are just still out and that kind of
Getting
thing.
iron splinters all over your gorgeous face. I remember.
Oh, it hurt. That was not a smart thing that I did. Just decided to cut some metal with some more metal. It worked though. I have a washing machine. But we have been clearing that off so that I can make paper out there in a place that's not windy and also like kind of sheltered from the heat. I forgot I got a desk. May was long. I got a desk at the beginning of May. Well, I'm not going to move the camera. I almost moved the computer, but that's not going to do it. But I've got a desk, and it's way back here, and it's way over here. It's an L-shaped desk.
Ooh.
Yes. And it's got all the drawers, and I have a drawer that is just current projects. So instead of grabbing my current projects out of the drawer that had all of the empty notebooks, so that I would also get an empty notebook and filled out. Now I just have a current project notebook or current project drawer, and then they all go in there, and it's so easy to find everything.
Oh my God, you weasel lost. I'm so proud of you.
I'm trying. Trying. So most of the things I did in May were like that were mental health related, were like fixing my spaces, right? Which it helped my mental health for sure. I don't know if that's like the answer you were looking for, but
no, that's perfect.
It
absolutely
helped. Your turn.
Yes, let's see. I got some things. My kids, they like to look in my carts and stuff and see the things that I'm wanting, and they got me some pictures and stuff for Mother's Day, and then I did some crafting with some flowers. I like to save them and then make things with them. So I did little things here and there when I could, when I wasn't writing and revising. And then I did a lot of work outside. Like the pollen has calmed down some, so it's not as bad as it was. So the weather was wonderful. I was able to go outside and get a lot of writing done outdoors, which was great. I skipped some streams and I gave myself permission to do that. If I was like really, really busy and the time was like cutting too close, sometimes I just like, oh, it's time anyway. But I was like, no, I've got this plan this day and this plan. So there were a couple days where it was just like going to be incredibly tight. And I gave myself permission to either change the time or to not stream that day.
Yeah.
without feeling guilty about it. Because normally I'd be like, nope, just got to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Pushing my sister out the door, go, because I click live. Okay, hi. Like, no, I said, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Just for there were like 3 streams earlier this month where I knew it was just going to be more stressful to do it than not. And I was like, okay, you have permission to not stress yourself out because you have a lot of work to do, Nia. And if you stress yourself out, the work's not going to get done. And and I think that it has made my live streaming better.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Because when I am live streaming, it's on days where it has been the right time to be doing it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where if I'd have been live streaming those days, I might have not been into it, especially if I'm streaming by myself. If I've got other people, I know, they can pick up the slack a little bit for me if I'm not quite feeling it. But when it's just me, I'm like, oh, I have to try and be entertaining and I'm tired and nothing is going right. And I just, so that has been helpful. And I've had a couple streams where I got to stream with people and I really enjoy that. So
yeah,
it's like a pick me up when I'm like, I'm not writing alone. I'm writing with people and, it's fun and I get to find out what everybody's doing. So I've just found little ways to make sure that I'm happy writing. And it's been, it's been a good month. It's been, on the whole, like there was some rushing and feeling like I made this stupid goal for myself. Why did I do this? But then when I hit the goal, I was like, yes, that's why I did it. Look at that rush. So, so ups and downs, but it's on the whole, it's been good.
Yeah. One of the hardest things I've ever had to learn as a writer is to just let myself not write. And it's very difficult to not be like, you should be writing. Why aren't you doing any work right now? Like, you're sitting at your computer. You can, do some typing. And it's just very, very... So, like I say, I'm frustrated when I don't write because I know that I need to. But at the same time, it's like, I can't write all the time.
Yeah.
So it's good that I'm taking this time off. So my brain is always very conflicted. So it's very much learning to ignore the part that's going, do some work. Right. You're being lazy. What are you doing? And just be like, you know what? No, I need to just not right now. So that was basically what May was.
Nice.
I have anxiety. So when I feel myself like trying too hard to come off as like entertaining or clever, or because you can feel yourself when you're in that like that thought process where you're like, oh, I'm trying too hard. Oh, like this is like a matter of life and death. I have to be entertaining or everything's going to like set itself on fire. Like my world is falling down all over me. It's like, I've kind of realized that I do that. So I've learned to just like, okay, hello, breathing time. Just
Yes.
Just pull back, pull all the way back, and remember what your happy place is. And I am a simple squid. My happy place is like hanging out with my cat, where she lives, which is on the couch. So if Anatole is on the couch, so will be Sherry.
Yes.
I've learned to find where my uncomfortable places are. I've learned to listen to myself and not just tell myself that I'm being lazy, I'm being irresponsible. Like, I've learned to stop yelling at myself like I'm my own chef. Like, I can't do that. Like, I can't Gordon Ramsay myself. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
No.
Something I tried to work on this month that was fun and really difficult for me, but I think ultimately more healthy in the long run, is I am a person who does like projects, and I like a lot of projects, and I like to start new things, and I like to be like, well, on Mondays I'm going to do this, and then maybe Tuesday through Thursday I can work on this will be my main project, and then every other Friday I can do this, and then once a month, like
Yeah.
I think I can make all of those plans and do all those projects, and I can until a wheel falls off, and then blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And so when I was making this revision plan, and it's back there, it's big, you can see it. Those are all different projects. Only one square, that one, is the revision. So I recognize that's a lot, but it's the third draft of the writing plan for the 6 weeks, because I cut half of it and then I cut half of it again, and then that's what I worked on, is trying to cut back on the number of things that I think I can do, because generally I think a day is this big. And in fact, a day is this big, and then I yell at myself for trying to do this much with this amount of day.
Yep.
Basically overestimating the amount of time that it takes you to do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this month was a lot about yes, I want to do all the things, but maybe look at what's more realistic. And I don't think I made it to where I understand that this is a day. I think I made it here. But that's better than here.
I think it's because we always forget how long it takes us to get ready to do the thing that you have to do.
Yes. Or to transition between activities. And also, post having COVID, there are some days where I wake up and I only have 20% of my normal energy. Some days I wake up and I have 90% of my normal energy. And some days I wake up and I have 5% of my normal energy. And so forgiving myself because at that point I'm still looking at this much day, but even with this much time, I can only do this much thing. Right?
Yeah.
And so being gracious on those 5% days, and looking at a 90% day and saying, even though this is a 90% of your normal energy day, does not mean you can do 120% of the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I did a lot of energy math.
This is part of the reason that I don't give myself I say I don't give myself deadlines. I don't give myself daily or weekly goals anymore, because I will set them and then inevitably I will not do them or not finish them, and then I will get very, very upset at myself for not finishing these goals.
Yeah.
So I have my list of things that I need to do, which is too far away for me to go and reach. But it's like a page long, and that's all my creative projects that I need to do for the rest of this year. And 3 of them are have timed deadlines, but those 3 are camp and NaNoWriMo projects I intend to do. And the others are, if I have time in between these 3 specific months, this is also what I need to get done. But I don't give them a date, and I don't give them a time, and I don't think to myself, oh, it's only going to take me this long to do it. So it's just it takes the pressure off a little bit, and it means that if I don't get it done, it's not, I didn't officially give it a deadline, so it doesn't matter that I didn't finish it, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's something I started doing, I think, after December, when I just told myself, you know what, I have a list of things I want to get done. I know what they are, but I'm not going to say they have to be done by this set of time. I did that with the one thing this month. And unless it's like something for camp, everything else is just a general list, and I'll check them off as they get done. But I'll only put one thing that says this month, this must be done. Everything else, they're on the list. They'll get done, and I'll check them off, and I'll be very, very happy when they're done. I'm like, look. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, look at all, like this month, I'm like, look at all the things I got done. I really only set myself one goal. But several other things got done as well. So not only did I get that goal, but I also got a couple other things done. So I'm like, yeah, I can feel very happy about that. But if I'd have done what I used to do, if I'd have set myself to do 7 things that must be done, and I had only gotten 3 or 4 of them done, then I'd be like, oh, but look at the 3 things I didn't get done. I didn't, So
you can only see the mistakes. You can't celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I don't do that anymore. And I've got to say, on the whole, it's been better to do it this way than the old way. Because it's always look at what I've accomplished this month.
Yeah.
Versus look at all the things I didn't.
List,
yes, not a to-do. I
had a little realization on stream the other day where it finally dawned on me that no one's waiting for my book to come out. I don't have an editor. I am beholden to no one. I can just do whatever the heck I feel like.
I'm waiting for this book, Sherry. I need it.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I am the I'm waiting on you, and I'm waiting on Sarah.
I'm just like I felt free for a moment there. I was like, I can just focus on getting what I want to do and perfecting the skills that it is going to. I know where my weaknesses are when it comes to writing. I know that I'm not that good in certain aspects. So I'm not going to rush all of the things that I'm already good at. I'm just going to focus on the small things, learning how to stop leaving Chekhov's guns everywhere without firing them at least once, because that is something I constantly do, and you really have to stop doing that. But finishing solidly and not just being like, okay, I've run out of stuff to say, peace. My wife has just been on my butt this whole time by saying you should probably do short stories so you can get a solid handle on all of these things. You should probably write short stories. Sherry, you should write short stories. Sherry, those short stories though. But we talked about this. And if you want to know the reason why you're doing that, then maybe you should write a freaking short story so you can understand what's wrong with you.
Yes.
So I'm listen to your spouse is the moral of my story. The end. Love, Sherry. That's funny. That
and then sometimes that short story turns into a novel.
And you know what? If it becomes a novel, that's fine.
You wrote 8 short 10,000 word stories.
There you go.
That happen to be a part of one whole big one.
Yes.
There we go.
Perfect.
BRB, please.
Where did Sherry go?
Oh, she said be right back.
Okay.
Or they
Okay, BRB.
Be right back.
I have never written a short story in my entire life. I don't think I can write a short story because I have too many ideas. And yeah, I don't think I could limit myself to just how long is a short story supposed to be? 5,000 words?
It can be.
I don't know if I can limit
Depends
myself to that.
Yeah.
I should try one day, I guess, but
so I had been doing the story a month. Susan Dennard has been doing story a month, and I had been participating in that. But I decided that I would take May and June off of from that so that I could finish some other things
Yeah.
that were bringing me more joy to have them checked off my list. Because usually what had been happening was like, okay, I did that, blah, 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 and I haven't gone back and looked at any of them. They're just writing exercises that are going to sit in a folder. I don't know if anything's going to be done with them.
Yeah.
They were fun to do, but I wasn't getting that same like, yeah, I did it, as like when I finish a song or even a picture book, or, you know, finish my middle grade novel. I think maybe that will be fun. I don't know. I've finished it so many times. Will the joy still be there the next time? Who knows?
See, you did the right thing. You had a middle grade that you managed to cut down to, like, you know, a middle grade length. I had a middle grade that I ended up adding 40,000 words to in revisions, and it's now an 80,000 word novel. So,
you know what? That's okay. Yeah. Middle grade is starting to trend longer. And
is middle grade going to become the new YA now?
No.
Now
I
the
think
YA is now new adult.
YA should be new adult the way people are writing it now.
I mean,
but
honestly, that's something that we were talking about on Sherry's Discord, was about how young adult is not written for young adults anymore. And one thing that my husband is always like, because he's a musician, he's not in the writing publishing world, so he always has a lot of questions and things where I'm like, yeah, no, that's how it works. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good question. Why is it that's how it works? Why?
It doesn't make sense.
Like, just because it has a teenaged protagonist doesn't mean that it is a young adult book. And so often now we have these books with teenagers that are acting like tiny adults. Like,
yeah,
you really liked the Shadow and Bone. Yes, people who are here, because we're still watching it.
Yes,
we're still, because my husband keeps asking to watch it with me, which is something that's new.
Yeah.
Generally, I'll be like, I kind of want to watch the show, and he'll be like, cool, I'm gonna go play bass. I'm gonna go play bass. But he's really
my
into
wife
it.
too. Also, my wife. Usually, like, my wife can just like leave me alone, but she's like, no, we're watching this together.
Yeah, really liked it. But I said, you know, in the book, I believe Kaz is 17, and he was like, no.
Kaz is a tiny baby child.
I was like, I think they're 17. No. And I was like, well, it is fantasy. And he goes,
but no.
I constantly forgot that they were supposed to be 17, and I sort of do understand in this world that they live in,
that they have to grow up a lot faster.
Same with Game of Thrones, like, it makes sense in that world,
sure,
with how they've grown up. But to us, the readers, we're like,
no.
Do you remember being 17? I remember not being able to tie my gosh dang shoes at 17 years old. Okay, so like, no, like, the amount of things I've accidentally destroyed just by sheer incompetence. No.
Yeah.
So
sus.
6 of Crows, Shadow and Bone series definitely was supposed to be YA. 6 of Crows definitely was supposed to be new adult. If if they actually made new adult a thing, instead of cramming all of the too old.
And then they wonder why young adult is declining, and it's because those readers are like, this is not made. Yeah. This is not mine. This is for people my age.
Yeah, not the adults are reading young adult because young adult is still suitable for early 25 plus,
Yeah.
30 plus years old, because the content is there.
Yeah.
And you've got middle grade, which always trends quite low, with the 10 to 12-year-old protagonists, and there's not really a lot of upper middle grade. I not that I read much middle grade, but obviously you've got Percy Jackson, you've got Harry Potter, you might have a few others, but they're big series in there. And then you've got YA, which is supposed to be for like 13, 14, 15-year-olds. And that's got,
young
stuff
adult.
that over 18s would relate to more than, the teenagers that it's, I suppose, originally was crafted for.
Yeah.
So you've got this sort of group in the middle of like 13 to 17-year-olds that don't have much for them.
And there are a lot of books that are like that have a protagonist that is that age, particularly if they're 16 or 17 and can get around in like some sort of vehicle by themselves without having to be transported to a magical land or be part of a fantasy universe. But that older middle grade, that young YA, where the 12 to 14 is really underrepresented, because that group either goes, well, there are no books for me, so I don't read, and then adults stop buying them books.
Yeah.
Or they just move on. I remember when I was that age, because back when I was that young adults was just The Outsiders, right? Right? That was the young adult book, was The Outsiders when I was reading young adult. So we went from the middle grade novels and the early chapter books that had 100 books in a series, right? Like this is very regional, but Hank the Cowdog, or everybody's going,
the Babysitters Club.
Babysitters Club.
Yeah.
We went from those to
Sweet Valley High.
Sweet Valley High. Read all of those. I started reading those in middle school.
Nancy Drew.
Yes, Nancy Drew.
Yes. So all the books with like a character that didn't grow and change very much, but the scenery around them changed a lot, and the puzzle that they had to solve. Animorphs. Yeah. I was talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
Yes, it is.
Animorphs was like, oh, anyway. No.
Yes.
So we went from those books to like the high school reading level where we were all reading classics by dead white dudes. And then
my favorite.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So then after we finished reading all of those things, that's when people either became readers of fantasy science fiction or like nonfiction, or stayed in adult books and were like, this is spicy. Should I be reading this at school? Or they said, I don't read outside of class, right? And I feel like that happens more now for a younger age group, because once again, young adult, which was supposed to be created just for them, with books like Harry Potter, who started 11. He was started 11, right?
Yes.
That he started there. Percy Jackson starts out as an 11-year-old, and then they grow and change, and they were supposed to move you through to YA. But there's not a lot of books for that 12 to 14-year-old range.
Yeah.
And so they stop reading. And now people are...
Or they start playing like Japanese role-playing games. So like that's...
They moved to anime, and there's nothing wrong with anime. I like anime. But we're losing a huge swath of readers because agents are like, oh, editors aren't interested in that. But there's a community of kids that are like, please, can we have books?
Yeah.
And they're like, nah.
Yeah. And I think we keep buying YA because they keep selling YA, and everything is written in YA, and they're telling everybody you must write YA if you want to have something that sells. And I feel like if you want to write a new adult or an adult book, but you feel like, oh, but if I wanted to sell, I need to make these characters who should be 20, 21, maybe 25. I've got to make them 16, 17, 18 in order to sell.
Yeah.
Then it's almost like we're getting stuck in this cycle. So now we've got these people, the young people who should be reading YA are reading YA that's really adult.
Yeah.
Or adults reading YA and just really they've outgrown YA.
Yeah.
They should be now reading adult.
Adults
I find myself getting. Good.
They can ignore the age of the character. Like the character's age can be said once in a book, but then you can sort of stop focusing on the characters. Oh, don't get me started on that book.
You're welcome.
I try not to
With
hate
Cindy
on anything because
started on that book.
someone loves it.
Sure.
You can easily forget the age of a character.
Mm-hmm.
And the adults who are reading YA can easily forget that these characters are supposed to be 16, 17 years old, like I did with Six of Crows, and just focus on the content, which is a lot more dark, gritty, angsty, which somehow people think that everyone wants to watch nowadays.
I mean, I do remember being like 16, 17, 18 and being like, oh my God, my emotions are the most important thing ever. And I just need to like express them everywhere. Everything is so horrible. Let me feel things really loudly.
But when authors write characters who are like that, they get slammed on Goodreads and Amazon and Barnes and Noble because those characters are making bad decisions or they were too emotional.
They're
and it's like
years old, and
this is the first time they experienced like heartbreak. Of course, it's going to be the worst, most devastating thing in the whole world. That always happens. Like if you're a baby and you get like bit by a bee, you're going to hurt. And it's like the most painful thing you've ever experienced in your whole life. You don't have anything to like put that up against. You have nothing to compare that to. So this is going to be the most painful pain you've ever felt.
And I think Sarah is right. Most books, most young adult books, they only mention the age of the character once or twice throughout the whole book. And as an adult reader, generally you put yourself, if it's a first person book, you're seeing through the eyes of that character, but you're seeing through the eyes of that character as the 30-something-year-old, because that's 30
because the theme fits, it doesn't feel like you're out of place. It feels normal for you to
be like, let's think about this and let's like compare it to our previous experiences. Girl, no, they're 17. They have none.
They don't have that yet.
No.
And with young adult and middle grade and even picture books, I think that those are all opportunities to give kids those experiences. And I think the goal is that you should be able to tell them the age of that character once and never have the reader question it. And the problem that we're having with young adult now is that people don't know that Kaz is 17, because even though you can make the argument of the fantasy
like a
world,
middle-aged man with a mortgage.
And
which he does in the book, has an actual mortgage.
and a body count. And right, he's had a lot of life experience for a 17-year-old that a 17-year-old reading it is like doesn't relate.
I don't even know how to drive a car. Like, you run a casino, excuse?
That's why it really does read more new adult. It just does. So even though I know that they're saying that Inej is 15 to 16 and Cash is 17 and Nina is 18. Oh,
she's 15.
The things that
my little angel baby.
Was 14? Was she 14 when she met Kaz, or 15 when she met Kaz? And then
she
she's
was
16.
12. I think she was 12 or 13 when she was stolen. And at
my God, that's horrible.
At the time of Six of Crows, I think she had known Kaz for a year or two. So I think she's about 16 to 17, I think.
Oh my God.
She is. The thing is, YA is now how much angst and darkness
Holy
and trauma can I stick on
call
my
Child
characters,
Protective Services.
to make them feel
he-
as adult as possible to fit in with the adult themes I have in this book, and that is
He-
what they. Yeah,
Cass bought Inej from a brothel.
Brothel.
yes, he did. Good for him.
Sorry, I'm just now reading Six of Crows, so I'm like, squeeze.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where is Child Protective Services? Amber Alert, everything.
She was
Yes.
she was kidnapped from her family in Suli and brought
Oh,
over
a real
and
Amber Alert.
That
to
makes her
the brothel.
character make a little more sense to me.
Mm.
Honestly, that she is so young, but I'm angry.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yes.
where are
Yes.
where are the adults?
Yes.
Where are the adults?
She was
Well,
stolen
Who
from
is
the
going to save
from the
these
adults?
babies? I just
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm not
at
gonna
whatever
tell
my age is now, like this just infuriates me. It's like, no, like you should not be having children going through this stuff. Like this is bad. Also, this is literal grooming. I can't.
See, the thing
And
is,
someone-
where are
someone
where
else-
are the
I can't.
adults? The adults are the ones doing this to the kids.
Yes,
that's
that's
where
true.
the adults are.
that's true.
And someone was saying, I was reading I think a week or so ago, but they were saying that just because something has characters that are 16, 17, 18 doesn't mean it's young adult.
Yes.
If the situations
And that's
aren't-
why
age appropriate. But I do love
are we
Six
talking
Crows.
about Jay Kristoff? Because I don't think I want to go there.
I don't
I-
either.
I don't,
Okay, good.
I watched a with Cindy YouTube video about Nevernight, and I'm very glad I did not pick it up. Because
And then she found out it was on her Goodreads.
it was like I put it on my Goodreads like 4 years ago. Because to be fair,
Yeah.
the premise of the book, without any knowledge of the content, it sounded interesting. Like
Sure.
assassin trying to get
I'm
revenge for something. Cool.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Assassin School.
The
I'm fine.
I liked it. I got it maybe 2 or 3 years ago before I knew. I only made it through the first 3 chapters. I never finished it. From the beginning, I'm like, holy moly, this poor girl is like living the. She's the one I usually refer. Oh my gosh, I hate trashing anybody's book. I don't care. I just don't like to do it. But she was like 40 years old, and what is she, 16 or 17-year-old person? I'm like, oh, child.
Edward.
Wow.
Edward.
Whoa. So
Edward.
I'll trash the book. That's you don't need a 16-year-old protagonist in a book like that. Like, I don't.
Why would you make a 16-year-old girl get a freaking boob job?
What to the plot? What does this character?
What does
need
that
to be
do?
16? What does she need to be 16 for? Why can she not be an adult? Like,
To be fair, it is marketed as an adult book. He was as clear as he could be that it is an adult book.
Age
It just-
her up then.
I agree that she should be aged up, but I think that there
Yeah.
should be space on adult shelves for books with younger protagonists, especially
Yes.
books
See-
like the who's the one who wrote the fairy book that everybody
Avatar.
That one.
Sarah J.
Avatar.
Maas.
Sarah J. Maas.
Okay, that one is now on the adult bookshelves, but it started in young adult. Why can't we be a little more discerning about the books that go on young adult so that every time I go to walk into a bookstore and look at the young adult section, it's not people that are my age
Mhm.
and me, because
It's
I'm
very
over there
awkward.
too. And we're all over there like looking embarrassed as if we're not. They're books written for us at this point.
yeah,
You don't need to be
because
embarrassed about it. It's
yeah,
just
we've grown up from YA, but
Mhm.
publishing needs to let us grow up from YA.
Yeah.
and give young adult back to the kids
Yes.
Yeah.
that they're
please.
intended for.
Yes, please.
I mean,
Soapbox. What are we doing in June?
what were we talking about? What's this? What's the
As per
what's
usual,
this wrap up?
Now
We've
we're
just
back.
been yelling.
as per usual, we found
just-
something to rant about.
Yeah, we've just been like yelling, "Get off our lawn!" Like,
But
you
you
know,
know
But
what?
this is really important because
It is. Yeah.
most of us, two of us, I pointed the wrong direction. Two of us are writing middle grade novels, and so we have,
I am.
yeah, three of us. So three of us are writing young adult or middle grade novels, and we have a responsibility to our readers to make sure that we are telling stories that are good and good for them. And that doesn't mean that bad things can't happen to the characters. Bad things are
His dark
supposed to happen.
materials.
Yeah.
It's a middle grade, gritty stuff happens in it, but they don't ever, like, you don't ever have to call, like, the cops. You know what I mean? Like, you don't ever have to call Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
Like, she's
Coraline.
having a great adventure. She's doing
Coraline.
stuff.
Yes.
Coraline also.
Mhm.
Shout out Neil Gaiman.
Yes.
Series of unfortunate
yeah.
events, like crap
Yes.
happens in
I
that,
love.
but
You know,
that is
y'all
an
are
amazing
calling out
series.
books that I have on my shelf. Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
There
Because
are
there's some really cool middle grade books that are appropriate.
Mhm.
And they're so fun to read. And if I'm an adult reading it,
It's
I
like-
don't expect to see adult material in it.
I don't expect authors to like have to have children in order to write middle grade, but if you have an audience member in mind, like if you are writing for your kid, if you're writing for your kid cousin, if you're writing for that actual like if you
person.
can see the person that you're aiming at,
Mhm.
if you know what your audience looks like and sounds like and talks like, it's easier to write that kind of genre. Like it flows into my gripes about representation, which is, if you want to write this character, get to know someone who is this character. If you want to write middle grade, get to know someone who's that old. Like,
Yeah.
know what they do. Like, meet one and go,
Yes.
"Oh, hello, you are a human being. Awesome. Let me ask you questions."
Yeah.
And
I mean,
I agree with Cad, the Secret Mario lad in there, that one of the YAs I was reading recently, like the girl in the story, she's literally just died or almost died. You just found out everyone around her died, and oh, but look, cute guy. And me, I'm thinking, we don't have time to worry about cute guy. But then I'm like, but she's also, I think, 17. So does a 17-year-old think, oh, but cute guy, when you just find out that everybody that you knew is dead?
as
Maybe.
a coping mechanism, possibly.
Yeah.
Because you've
No,
lost
but her?
all your attachments to other people, and so you could go one of two ways. You could not want to attach to anyone, or you could attach to the first person that you see who you're like, yeah, this
Like
is
a
person.
duckling imprinting
Like a
on
duckling.
someone.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, a little teenage duckling. That's
Yes.
exactly.
So I have to remember, this is teenage child. Let her have that feeling.
Mhm.
If this is the one thing that's going to bring her some joy, is waiting for cute guy to come back,
Yeah.
then I'll have to give that to her. And then I have to decide if I'm still okay with reading YA, because this is what it is. You know, it's not the story's problem. It's me, because
It's a
I'm
personal
expecting teenage child to act like adult person.
Yeah, like
Who is reading.
I
No.
am fully comfortable with the fact that I am an old person now. Like I have seen the white hairs spawning on my scalp. I love them. They are like
Glitter.
they are my battle scars, baby. I earned those white hairs.
Most of mine are from my 2-year-old.
Same.
And well earned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's young adult, middle grade. There's someone at our door.
Bring back serious middle grade.
Party
no more
time.
Riverdale
I
YA.
know who it is.
Oh. You look so happy that they're here.
I'm thrilled. What are we doing for June?
Oh, yeah.
This
Is that
conversation
The
goes
conversation
very
we
well.
were.
It goes very well into this current conversation. I'm writing Abingdon House number 3, which is a middle grade,
Yes.
which spans 5 books with a protagonist who starts at 12 and ends at 16 after all of the books. So
Yes.
For June, I have decided that I am going to be as feral as I need to be when it comes to streaming. I like if I'm just gonna do whatever the heck I feel like. I am going to write a bunch of short stories.
Yes.
I am going to do like whatever makes me feel comfortable and happy, and I'm not going to yell at myself anymore. That's my plan. None more yelling at Sherry. Love Sherry.
Love Sherry.
Love it.
I love it.
Oh, also, I've discovered how much I love sharing like music and hanging out. So I did that today. I was playing music on my Discord server and
I
hanging
saw
out
that.
with Lee and Rainey. That was a
Aw,
lot of fun.
Nice.
I saw that and I didn't know if it was a private party, so I.
Oh
I
no, it's like
okay.
music for everybody.
Oh, okay.
DJ
Because
I'll know we'll know
I
for
have-
next time.
I have accidentally clicked on private conversations on the thing where I'm like a notification. I'm gonna chat. How do I get out? How do I get out? How do I get out?
Let me leave.
Hello. Goodbye. So I'm like, oh, someone's chatting. Not to me. Click off of Discord. Oh no. But next time I'll
yes.
say hi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes,
totally.
Because I love music.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome.
I love specific music. I have only this past day I've become very, very obsessed with 25 seconds worth of one song in the musical Hades Town.
Yes. Which one?
Wait for Me reprise.
Ooh.
The bit at the very end, where you really see that I've become so obsessed with just like that last 25 seconds of that song.
I love it.
And I don't know
Yes.
how I became obsessed with the last 25 seconds of this song.
Because it's
Beautiful.
perfect.
But I have.
Perfect.
There is
It's
a YouTube
perfect.
video which is the most iconic part of Hades Town, like 1 full hour of it, and it's just literally that 25 seconds of the end of that song on repeat for an hour.
That's
I
so
love it.
funny.
Is it like therapy? Is it like, oh, just let me listen to it?
I love
That's
Hades
so
Town
funny.
so much. Yeah, you have to listen. The first time you listen to it, you have to listen to it with headphones, and you have to listen to it
Yes.
from start to finish. And you have to lock the kids in the other room if you need to, and you need tissues because you're gonna feel things.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly did that today. I didn't pay as much attention as I would have liked, because I find it difficult to listen to stuff and pay proper attention. Like I prefer to either watch it or read it to get the full.
Look up
I attempted it today.
slime tutorial on
Oh,
YouTube.
I have a slime tutorial saved
Okay,
Nice.
good.
for when I have
I
time to
love
watch the slime tutorials.
Slime tutorials. That's my
Yeah.
jam.
Yes, so do I.
Why We Build the Wall is my jam in Hades Town.
Oh, do you know she wrote that song in 2006?
What?
Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, okay. Do you know the story of Hades Town? Because the person who wrote it is like goals. Okay. So she wrote this musical by herself as like a concept album. And
Ooh.
Yeah.
this was just
Wow.
a concept album. And then she tweaked it and worked on it a little bit more and changed it up. And then she toured it because people liked it. And so she toured the new material. And then she tweaked it and worked on it and built it up some more. And then she got to be at Radio City Music Hall where she had a full cast and she did some things with it. And then she tweaked it and worked on it and built it some more. And then they moved it up to Canada and she performed up there. And then she finally tweaked, built, put it together enough. And then it went to Broadway. And then it won Best New Musical.
It did the
Amazing.
complete opposite of what you normally think of when it's like a musical, right? Like it started as an actual album.
Yeah. And
That's
if you
cool.
go look her up, her name's Anais Mitchell. Anais Mitchell, and she is so good, such a good songwriter. just very inspiring person, because this story, she did other projects, but she never gave up on this one project. That she did all these other things. She worked on other things. And then she's like, and now I'm going to go do some more things on Hadestown because I'm going to rewrite this song, or like, I'm going to expand this storyline. And then it won Best New Musical, as if it hadn't been around since 2006. And she's got that album where she does it by herself. She's got a few of the songs on one of her original albums. And then she also has an album where they performed it at Radio City with a completely different cast. And the songs aren't all exactly the same. So you really have this great case study of how it went from this album was a final draft, right? It went from all the things that she did to create this album with a couple songs on it. And she was like, I think I got something with this couple songs. And then you can see like another final draft where she took these things and expanded them. And it's still not done because it gets all the way to Broadway. And that is her final draft.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's a really good case study on the revision process.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yes,
What's
definitely.
bringing it around town.
Yes, I love it. Yes. Good job.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Speaking
I love
of
her.
revisions, that's what I'm going
we're
to do
gonna
this month. I'm going to do this month. And then because it is, please tell me how we pronounce Prepune.
I won't.
Prepune.
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 It looks like Prepune.
No.
Hilarious.
Refuse.
I
Okay.
have
refuse to use
Preptober and Prepart and Prepune.
Prepune.
Yeah.
So
You have no choice, Sherry. We're putting it on. You must say Prepune.
Prepune.
Je refuse.
Like no.
It's fine. Just you can just pronounce it Prep June,
Prepune.
and you can pronounce it that way.
Put the P in there.
I've got
Yeah.
the silent. I've got the silent J, but you have the non-silent J.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So on Prepune.
It's like who? Because I guess the J is going to the who sound.
Who?
Like Prepune.
1, 2,
June.
3. So while I am doing this revision, don't judge me. Oh, Sherry. Oh no, Sherry. It's good that you're here so you can know this.
Stare at you.
So interested to hear what Ashley's going to say.
I'm
What
gonna
you're
finish
saying,
the
Ashley.
contest.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I'm gonna finish the contest. I'm
Yeah.
gonna finish this rewrite revision. Hopefully by the end of June, first week of July. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I know I have 2 more things. I have a project that I've been working on since Preparch. March.
I just
March,
like that
March-
notebook.
I do too.
It's
I've got the same
pretty.
thing.
I have been working on it. I work on it for 15 minutes most days, and it's handwritten. So I'm going to continue doing that 15 minutes most days. I have no plotting, no planning goes into this notebook.
Yeah.
It is just, and this has been the most interesting writing exercise I have done in a long time. So I'm going to spend 15 minutes a day, most days, but no pressure if I don't.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't put it away over there. Put it away in that other place where you keep all your projects.
In this drawer right here. Well, I have them all out. I
Oh.
have them all out right now. So I was just going to move him out of the way, but I will put him in his drawer where he belongs because
Yes.
he did get lost in my car because I took him with us when we ran errands. A lap desk.
I know you. Like I know
Yes.
you.
I know. You were absolutely right. And then I have a middle grade that is my first book that I ever completed. And I am going to outline, now that I have had a lot of writing experience, or a lot more writing experience, that's subjective. I'm going to re-outline so that in July, going into August, while I am ignoring the fact that I am letting other people read my book,
la la la
la la la la la, I'm gonna do a little bit of outlining on that, and then I'm gonna do my zero draft for camp in July, starting when I finish the revision, not at the same time. So I have to work on the revision this month.
Nice.
So that's what it. That's so much more manageable than the first time that I came to hang out and do the wrap up. Right? That's way better.
A lot more manageable.
I mean,
Only 4 things. Right?
My goals are still basically like, be feral, don't die.
I love those goals.
These are good goals.
These are good goals.
Yes. I
Mia?
agree with those goals. I want to write at least 3 more chapters in each the younger YA or middle grade. It's their age. I haven't decided. But and I want to get 3 more chapters written in each one of those. Then I think I will have enough chapters done for the Vella and for the comic that nothing will change too drastically, that I can actually put it out. But I do need someone to read it to make sure that the things that are going to be in each one aren't going to change, so that I don't post something and then, oh, look, this thing back in when they were 16, that whole thing has to change. So
But
I've just made a notes.
But if it did have to change, you could just say you were channeling Aeneas Mitchell and you were like, that was a final draft, and then this is the new final draft.
Bringing it back
Ta-da.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. So I'll be working on that. I'm going to work on, I have a historical fiction that is also YA. Yeah, I think I'm going to make it YA. I want to make it middle grade. That's the age of the girl. It's historical fiction, but she's 14, and I feel like it's going to be middle grade, but it's going to take her from age 14 to 16. But from she's in the time period is post Reconstruction, North America to Canada. So from New York to Canada, they make a little bit of a move.
Interesting.
Nice.
So that's why I'm not sure if it's going to be considered middle grade or YA. I don't feel like
With
I don't know what it.
With that 14 being the age, and because of the silly way that books are categorized, I don't know if we've talked about that much, but books are categorized in really silly ways. I bet that's going to be a young adult book, just because you've got teen at the end.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. So I don't know if I'm going to have to make the themes a little bit more mature. I know how the story is going to go, and there are places where I can make it more mature. So it's definitely not going to be adult, that's for sure. But but yeah, but I'll get it written out, and then I'll have beta readers read it. So, but I want to work on that, and of course I'm going to do the chapters in each of the series for the sci-fi. And those are the only things I'm holding myself to. Just work the comic and that, and then because for Preptober, I think I want to go back to my fantasy novel. So I might do little bits and pieces on the fantasy novel, but those are not solid. But that's my actual. Oh, I keep saying Preptober because I don't want to say. It's so weird to say Prep. It is weird. But yeah,
I like it.
It sounds like the sort of. It sounds like the call a sick bird would make.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So for the prep part, you're going to baby. Hello. You look like a grumpy toll. Oh my god.
Baby.
Oh, so
Sleepy
cute.
one.
I love
Me
those
too.
curls.
So much.
Yeah.
Sweetie.
So for
I-
Prepune, I'm not actually working on my project because I already know what the fantasy project for is. So I don't need to work on it. I'll just do little bits and pieces, but I'm going to work on these other things that are not going to be my camp project.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I can get them out of
think-
the way and not feel like they're left behind because of the fantasy novel.
You've actually reminded me that I have a high fantasy novel that I should look at that. I finished the first the zero draft of the first book, and I feel like it's going to be a like 6-part series. So I finished that, and then I sat down at the long road ahead and went, no. I am tired already, actually. maybe rest time. Like it was it's the project that I completed my very first ever NaNoWriMo of.
Wow.
My
Cool.
NaNoWriMo 2020 was the first one that I've ever participated in and won.
Same.
Yeah,
mine too. Yeah. That's the one I'm going back to. Yeah.
Twinsies. I think we should do that, like together. Like we should tackle our NaNoWriMo projects. Like
Yes.
I jump, you jump, I jump, Jack. Let's do this.
I'm already doing it. That's my
Yeah.
middle grade. So
Awesome.
I jumped.
Oh my god.
Join
this
me.
is great.
Yeah.
I'll
The
do
water
it.
is fine, but there might something did brush up against my leg a little while ago. So
The water is frothy. We have some sea creatures, and you know what? There may be rocks, but
but
Yeah.
it's a journey, babies. Let's do it.
Looking forward, I know that October is Preptober, and I also know that it is the month that Pitch Wars is happening.
When is it?
It's on the Pitch Wars. Let me look it up.
Is when?
I know. I had a freak out about it. I think it's the end of September, actually, now that I've said that out loud. If you know in the comments, please say something while I look this up.
I think September, yeah, because there's one every 3 months and there's one in December.
There's there's a Pit Mad in December, and there is Pitch Wars, which is the big thing. Yeah, okay, here it is.
Oh crud, I'm gonna die.
September. Well, I mean, if you really want to freak out, June 3rd.
Me and like Nia's eyes met. It's like
wow.
we're gonna die.
June 3rd is Pit Mad also. So ignore that. I said nothing. September 2nd is Pit Mad. September 11th through the 25th, the mentor wish lists are going to be posted so you can look at the wish list and kind of see who you want to submit to. On the 26th of September, that's when the submission window opens. And on the 30th of September, the Minty submission window closes. And then right the first week of November, first week of camp, they're going to announce the Minties. And then December 2nd, there's another Pit Mad. So if you do the submission process and you get chosen to the Minty, you don't get to do NaNoWriMo anymore, I think, because you're going to be very busy. Because what they do is they send you an edit letter, and you get at least one full revision, but usually they go through at least 2 or 3 with you. And then in February is the showcase.
Great.
When February 9th, adult entries go live, middle grade entries go live on the 10th, and young adult on the 11th. But that doesn't matter. if on November 6th your name isn't posted, and it really doesn't matter if you don't submit between September 26th and September 30th.
Great.
Wow.
So
I
that's
don't know which one I'm aiming for.
yeah, that's the. So I am trying to do Pitch Wars with my middle grade project, which is why it's so stressful and frustrating that I'm rewriting it in June, because I would like to already be in a place where I'm revising and like nitpicking so that I can type up the synopsis and the query letter and all that stuff. But that's not what's going to happen. So I'm just going to accept that that's not what's happening and move on.
I don't even know why, but I feel like I swallowed an entire lemon.
Me too, because I thought that it was the end of October, and then I went to check it when I was after I'd made my revision plan and was like, no. Oh, well, here we are.
Did someone
read June 3rd?
Huh?
I said, did someone read June 3rd somewhere?
Yes, that's the Twitter pitch party on June 3rd. There's one September 2nd, and then there's one December 2nd. So you just write the little Twitter pitch, and if an agent
I don't have
it,
a Twitter, do I?
Yes, you do.
I
Oh,
think
You don't
do,
post
yeah.
on it,
Yeah.
but you have one.
I don't post on mine
Cool.
either. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't post on mine either.
I
I
share
have
funny
Twitter.
videos of other people's things.
I have,
So that
I have
I'm-
Twitter for the pitch parties, and that's about it. And I don't
Yeah.
even participate in them most of the time either. So
But I've got one. Yeah. So if anybody else is doing pitch wars, let me know. We can cry together. Because
Yay!
it is.
You know what? I'll do it anyway because I
Yes.
have no fear, and
Good.
failure can't hurt me anymore.
Anymore. Oh.
I have stopped crying over that white boy.
you learn to just not care. Does this sound crap? Oh well, I don't care. This person didn't like my work. Okay, sure, I don't care. You need to not care. It's the only way to survive as a writer.
No,
Yeah.
It's really hard.
The big head.
Yeah. Like everyone went.
What would you like then, honey?
It's hard.
It is.
It is hard having
Got
big
sugar on it?
emotions
Mm-hmm.
You
and
need the sugar?
No,
not.
Okay, what would you like?
no.
Milk.
What, your
Yes.
orange juice? You want some milk?
No.
Milk, please.
Pretty sure she wants some milk.
We understand.
Yep.
Yes.
Mommy,
Yeah.
Mother is a restaurant.
I got
She's
it.
You've got your
closed.
bunny.
Yes.
Yeah. And you've got your bedtime dummy.
Oh, I did buy some motivation to write in my fantasy novel because you guys know, remember my cat dragons?
Yes.
There are 3 cat dragons in my fantasy novel. And I was like, I was looking for a journalist and it's going to write a little story about them. Cause you know how I told you when I do my outline and my drafting, everybody's got a side story. There's
Yeah. of
So I was
course.
like, you know what, to put it to energy, I wanted to write them down in a journal. I couldn't find a journal. And then these were posted and there's one in every color of my dragon.
Horrible. Oh
So
my
I-
god, teal dragon, dead. I am deceased.
Yes.
Look at
They're
the
so pretty.
yes.
I
So
love
I'm like, I
them.
can write each one of them can have a story. And I can
Mia.
get out that's why I'm obsessed with pens right now because I'll probably do some calligraphy. But not the whole thing is
Yeah.
calligraphy, but I need to practice.
You are the
so I
mother
write it
of
off.
dragons now. Uh-oh.
The
Everything paused.
dragons set her internet
Computer
on fire.
on fire. Hashtag not my Daenerys.
Hello.
Hey! My really
my God.
terrible joke
It
broke
is.
your internet.
Oh yes, it
Yummy.
did. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh my goodness. I was like, where did I go? I'm still here.
See, when I get notebooks, I just don't write in them.
Yeah.
I'm like, this would be a really nice notebook to like put some
Look
story
at.
stuff in.
Oh,
Dragon babies.
Yes. Those
I
are my
love
cat
it.
dragons. Yes.
I love it.
So I'll tell you their names right now, unless I change them. What I don't think I will, because they've been their names for so long that now I feel like I can't change them.
Yeah.
But the blue one is Icarus, the purple one is Raven, and then Pathos is the green one.
Ah,
And I've
I
named them.
love
They're
them.
like the first ones that had names. When I had the dream about this fantasy world, it literally started out, ooh, what if I had a fantasy land that had dragons in it? And then I had a dream, and then I woke up and had to write it out. And now it's not even, the story itself is not even about them,
Mhm.
but they're very important to the story. But
they're the core of
Love
your
it.
world.
yeah,
Yeah.
so everything, I just want to do so much for them, even though like
No, I
the
can
story
do it.
isn't necessarily about them. It's about what
No.
happens in this world. But
Yeah.
I feel like they were the reason why the
So you-
whole thing
Yeah.
even wound in my head. So I love them so much. I call them my dragons, and I love them. So yeah. So that's my motivation to
And
get my
on
my
that
nano.
We have been going for about an hour and 50 minutes. How
Yes.
how do we feel about saying goodbye to hugging?
Yeah.
Saying
Oh.
goodbye to hugging. I do not
No,
want to
goodbye
say
to
goodbye to hugging.
She's upset now because she can't watch TV because it's bedtime.
Oh,
Yeah.
That
That
is
I
hard.
understand.
I understand this.
Okay.
I also cry like this when my wife takes my phone away from me.
Oh, do you want to say hello?
Sweet one.
Hi.
We'll say hello. Oh. There we go.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? You're sleepy, huh?
Tired and grumpy.
Me too.
Yes.
Aren't
Yes.
you?
I'm also tired and grumpy.
Yeah.
Same.
I want food. Everything smells so good. Like everyone's grilling. We're grilling out in our back, and I think all of my neighbors are grilling, so it just smells. The whole
It
neighborhood
smells like
smells
Kalbi
amazing.
outside. It smells like Kalbi outside my window. I am going insane.
Oh man,
Okay,
it stopped
honey.
raining.
Oh, yay.
No, that's sad.
There we go.
We live in a desert. I like the rain.
Oh, sorry.
No. We're supposed to get rain on and off this week, so it's stopped, but it's temporary.
I like the rain
Fingers
because it means pollen
Okay.
can't hurt me.
Yes.
Okay,
The
yeah.
pollen gets tamped down some.
Yeah.
I like the rain because my water bill is not going to be so high.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Actually, outside water bills for desert places are ridiculous. Oh my
Yes,
god.
Really?
Because for some
Uh-huh.
reason they still expect you to keep your grass green, and they don't like it when you plant. Your vegetables don't like it when you don't water them.
Okay. This makes sense.
They get grumpy,
Yeah.
whiny vegetables. Look at that dandelion growing out of the crack of the sidewalk over there. They're not complaining.
Dandelions are actually delicious. Like I've had dandelion leaves and they're so good.
Really?
That's what I've
Yeah. Like
Not brave enough to try it.
I get dandelion leaves from like a farm, but like dandelions have like this kind of almost anisey flavor. It's like it's like a mix between anise and kale, but like much brighter. It tastes super amazing. It's basically a heartier arugula flavor.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
I don't know, like I used to make salads out of them or like slightly like saute them. There's this technique where you superheat olive oil with infused with chilies, and you can use that to slightly wilt your salad. And
Good.
yeah, I just got
Oh.
distracted by food. Sorry.
No, that's
So
fine
we're
because
growing-
I'm gonna make a note of that. I make notes of things like that you learn from other people, other artists or other writers, things
Yeah.
that you wouldn't even know to look up. Like
Yeah.
you might one day have something that you're like, I need them to eat something interesting out in the wilderness, and you don't think
Dandelions.
a dandelion.
Yes.
Dandelions.
But now it's in my little brain registry, and I can write it down in my
Yeah.
notes. That's one more thing I can. That I
Also,
would not
the
have thought of.
dandelion roots, if you roast that, you can turn that into coffee.
Oh, here comes my
Wow.
dystopian survivals.
Yeah,
We
I
survived on
got
dandelions.
really obsessed with food that you can turn into other food. So like chicory, I am obsessed with. Radicchio, also obsessed with, because you can also turn the roots of radicchio into coffee. So
Very cool.
Oh, very cool.
We're growing. I'm afraid to say it out loud. Nasturtium.
yes, nasturtiums. They are
Okay.
delicious. The
They're
pods
so
of them
good.
are like tiny wasabis.
Really? Because we
Yes.
didn't eat those, but I learned that they were edible, and so my 2-year-old and I went and like, oh, we're gonna try some, and the girls were like, I am not doing that. I was like, okay, fine. And then I came
did
back
it.
outside. I came back outside, and like a goat, he had eaten an entire plant.
They're delicious
Wow.
though.
They're really
Like,
good. They're really
I love them.
mild and a little mustardy.
Mhm.
I described it as like arugula light,
yes.
kind of. Even though arugula is really peppery,
Mhm,
so it
mhm.
doesn't have that, but it reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
Then again, my taste buds are broken, so
If you get like before the flowers blossom, like the pods, like those are really, really delicious, and you can use those instead of capers. Capers have like this really like sour flavor, right? But if you pickle the nasturtium pods, it has like this like pepperiness and like this mustardy flavor that's just round and mild and like floral.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
wow, that's
good.
cool.
Well, we learned that every part was edible
Mhm.
on the nasturtium, and so that's kind of why we planted them. Like, oh, these are going to be really pretty, and also nom 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 nom.
I
Oh yeah, that's why I grew my pomegranate.
I would put nasturtium flowers on wedding cakes that I would make, but I've never actually grown them.
Keep doing it.
Yeah,
Keep doing it because I'm thirsty.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It is 11 o'clock where I am, and you need to go back to bed, don't you, honey?
You
No.
don't think so? You don't think so? I understand. My kiddo doesn't like to go to bed either, or the youngest
Yeah.
one. The oldest ones are all like, "Yes, please, bed. We want to go in our
I am
room.
tired of you and
We-
all of
Yeah.
everything.
We want to color, and we want my oldest daughter knows that I come in here and I tell them this is my work, right? Because it's my writing time, it's my work time. And so she goes to her room and she'll show me what she did during the sprints, because she told me
Stop.
she can hear me.
I'm dying.
So she knows how long we're
cute.
sprinting. She knows how long we're sprinting. So she goes in there while I'm doing stuff and she's like, look what I did. She wrote
That's
a book.
adorable.
She has already finished her book.
Oh,
Oh, she's fast.
Yeah, she's
I
fast.
like it.
Never mind, she's not cute anymore.
And then the 5-year-old is like loves sleep. So you tell her to go to bed and she's like, about time. Good. But the baby bird,
Awake.
yes.
midnight.
Baby Burb is the owl.
Midnight. I am asleep. He's like, what are you doing? Hey, mommy,
Listen.
wake.
Like,
Mommy,
oh, no.
wake.
Oh no.
No.
It's never fun.
It is late for
Right.
Sarah.
It
Yes.
is late for Sarah.
Do we
And it is
all wanna
Sarah's
do-
channel.
Do we all want to do outro?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do
Yeah.
outros. Sherry, you want to start us off and we'll go clockwise.
Sure. Thank you guys for watching me yell about the frisbees in my yard. I have been Sherry. I stream on Twitch sometimes. I don't really have a schedule anymore, but I'll pop up whenever I feel like it. And I am sorry that my schedule is feral, but I am beholden to no one.
Terry's
Own
schedule is whenever at 11 a.m. CST, Thursday to Sunday, maybe.
Yes. You can find me in all of the social medias as Sherry Forge. And hello.
Right now. Yeah, that's mommy right now.
Yes.
Okay.
But Sherry's talking. Let's let them
And I
finish.
am done, actually. Baby Burb, take it away.
I am mommy. But that's not how you're going to find me on the internet. I am Ashley B. Pedigo. I am on Instagram and Twitch and sometimes Twitter. Yeah! And I write stories for children and adults. I'm a songwriter. You are naked. And and I host productivity sprints over on Twitch Tuesdays through Thursdays, 8:30 Central Standard Time until, thank you. And sometimes on Saturdays in the morning, just to change things up.
Oh,
And I have way too many projects, and if you want to see some of them, Instagram or, hang out on my stream and you'll see them eventually. And I'm going to mute now so that Nia can tell us some things about Nia. Take it away.
All right. Hey, I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, here on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch and Instagram as the Vixen of Fiction. I write fantasy, sci-fi, and historical fiction in everywhere from middle grade all the way up to adult. I live stream writing sprints on Wednesdays. I've changed for summer. We're going to go with 5 o'clock. I might bump that up to 2 o'clock in July, but for June, we're going to go Wednesdays at 5 and then Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to join me, and if you're on any of the Discords, I run around in people's Discords saying hi and having fun with them.
Nia's
and on their
also
streams.
very
I
happy
write.
that all of her babies are tall now.
Yes. I also got interrupted, but I got interrupted by a teenager twice. Very quietly, they peeped the door open and ask me questions, and I can answer. So you will get to that stage, ladies. It will happen. It will happen.
I bet both times your teenager interrupted you, they were wearing clothes too.
Yes. Amazingly, yes.
Which is very helpful.
That sounds awesome. I look
older
forward
one-
to the day.
The older one came in to get a money card, and I was powerless to stop them. And
She's
she waves
clever.
the card
She's smart.
and leaves.
She's smart. Oh my
Clever.
God.
Yes.
Clever.
Yes.
My mom is writing. Let me go grab her wallet, and I'm just watching like.
Well, I guess I can't yell at you.
I've not
There
taken
it goes.
I've shown her. She's visually seen it. That is permission. I'm out.
Oh no.
You know I'm taking your money. Bye.
It's
But
borrowing at that point. Right?
You will get to the stage where they will do it very discreetly and quietly, knowing that you're sitting here helpless to stop them.
Okay, I shall prepare for that moment.
Great.
Right. And I'm Sarah. I write stuff. I will eventually post stuff on YouTube again eventually. I am back this Saturday for the Worldwide Write-a-thon.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I'm also there.
I am too.
We're all there in some regard. I will be hosting a stream. I want to say you're hosting a stream as well, aren't you, Nia?
I am
Yes.
hosting on
Yes.
Sunday. I'm hosting on
Sunday.
Sunday.
So it's 2 days of writing sprints to kick off prep for June for Camp Nanarimo in July. So
Kick off
hope to
what?
see you guys at
Prep for June. I like
For
that
June.
much better.
Kick off what?
for June for Camp Nanarimo in July. It's from Prepune.
The madness sparked in Ashley's eyes.
She's like, say it. You get to
Say
see her.
the
She went,
word.
say
Prepune.
it. She's like, no.
Have you
Prep
actually
for June.
like have you actually looked up what the rebel yell sounded like? Like
But,
there's
like with a rebel yell, she cries more.
no,
Is that what
no,
you mean?
like the rebel yell, like it's an actual noise that people would make, Civil War
Oh.
stuff. But if you actually look up what it sounds like, it's very much close to what Prepune sounds like in my ears.
Is that what they were talking about in that song?
Yeah,
That's what she
That's
says?
fine.
Yeah.
That's
Because-
fine, because we're going to rebel our way through June to
Yes.
July. So right, I have
I
a
have a lot
child
of questions
waiting for
about
me
that
to
song now.
yeah.
read her
A lot more.
multiple
I
bedtime
thought it was
stories.
I thought it was about the whiskey at first, but it's not.
Oh.
I'll
Now
have
we
to sh-
know.
I have to share my playlist when it's over
Do it.
with you guys.
Yes,
Nobody
please.
else wants it.
Okie dokie.
You
Thank
don't
you guys
want it.
so much for joining me today. We had
It was
fun. We had
fun,
chaos.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much for hanging out
It was
with
as
us.
so much
per
fun.
always with all of us together. Good luck for everyone doing
Yes.
June.
Yes.
And for prep, and we'll see you guys later.
This weekend.
Thank you guys. Bye.